Welcome back in one of the Bears Football Plays YouTube channel. Today's Monday, October 28th, and I'm back and bringing down some Monday Night Football for you guys. We're going to be looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers going up against the New York Giants. I'll have my best game pick and the two best player props for that game. But let's take a look at the Sunday afternoon games first. All the dogs almost went barking. Jags money line, only loser. Jordan Love went down this game. I really thought with Malik Willis in, the Jags had a chance. They were in it the entire game. Had a couple really bad coaching decisions. T-Law, I thought he played pretty well. I love Tank Bigsby and Thomas. We just got to keep force feeding those guys the ball. But Jaguars go down 30-27. T-Law had a couple really bad plays that gave the Packers a couple good field position scoring drives. So that kind of led to the downfall there. This Colts-Texans game, over 45.5. The over wanted to go multiple times. First drive for both teams, go all the way down. Both teams settled for 3. Felt like there were big plays the entire game. Penalties in the red zone, turnovers in the red zone. The Texans on the 6-yard line of the Colts with 3 minutes left, fumbling the ball for Joe Mixon. And the Colts getting it back, but the Colts take it all the way for a touchdown, but then it gets called back on the defensive side because Joe Mixon touched him. All we needed was a field goal in that game for it to go over. It was 23-20 at the time. All we needed was 3 points from the Texans inside the 5 of the Colts. Didn't get it done. Plus, the Colts had the ball twice. With an ability to at least tie the game with 23-23. So that was just a tough loss there. Eagles money line beat the crap out of the Bengals in the second half. Eagles are good. And as a Dallas fan, that hurts to say, but the Eagles are a good team. Defense looks great. Jalen Hurts looks great. I am a little bit upset that Saquon Barkley can't get a touch inside the 1-yard line or inside the 2-yard line. They keep doing the Philly special push or whatever the hell you want to call it. But, yeah, Barkley on my fantasy team just missing out on those touchdowns. We have the Browns money line. If you know football and you bet football, this is a game that you should have bet the Browns money line plus 280 against the Ravens. Jameis Winston, I think he said unwavering faith was one. Shout out to Jesus for winning that game. He was locked in on those interviews. An amazing person, an amazing leader, and I hope the Browns continue to win with him as quarterback. He's just fun to watch. If you don't like Jameis Winston, you don't like football. Bears minus 2.5. I just hopped on recording as the game ended. Was going to put down for a winner. Decided not to because there was 30 seconds left. I didn't want to jinx myself. Turns out, reverse jinx myself because Daniels just threw a 55-yard Hail Mary that was tipped in the air and caught by the Commanders. So the Commanders take that game. I believe the final score was it was 15-12, so they didn't. I don't think they kicked the extra point. So 15-18 in favor of the Commanders. Tough way to lose that one because it was the last straight bet I had of the day. But we had Jameis Winston over 234. He crushed that. Joe Mixon over 75.5 rushing yards. He crushed that as well. DJ Moore, whenever they got into the red zone, the first time he got hurt. Second time, Caleb Williams threw a floater, or a fade, I should say, in the back of the end zone. Just threw it way too far, or he probably would have had a shot at a touchdown, but did not cash that one. So 2-3 on the game picks. 2-1 on the player props. Updated leaderboard. Didn't have the Bears game or DJ Moore on there, but I will get it updated after this. So let's go look at Monday Night Football. We have the Giants going up against the Steelers. We're taking the Steelers. -6 is the play, and it's not that I don't trust the Pittsburgh Steelers. I do kind of way more than I trust the Giants in this game because the Giants, they're a dumpster fire. The Giants team, it's really hard to watch them. Daniel Jones last week, I think he got benched for Tommy DeVito in that loss. I don't think it was they were getting blown out. I think he just got benched because the Eagles tattooed them last week. This is not a competitive team. The defense, I think, this year for the Giants is pretty good. I think they're top 15 in the NFL, but it's just hard for that defense to continue to try whenever you can't put up anything offensively. We typically see the Giants put up a pretty good fight in the first quarter, maybe even the second quarter, but the defense, they get tired with Daniel Jones sucking the life out of this team. They put up, they're motivated early in the game, but come second half when they're down by 14 points and they can't get a first down, the defense just stops trying. For the Steelers, they have been good over the last couple of weeks. Doesn't matter Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. Both those guys have been playing well so far. Only one game out of Russell Wilson last week, but he did pass the test going up against the Jets. That's supposed to be a good defense this season. Not sure if they are, but Russell Wilson did pass the test, and this guy loves to throw the deep ball, and he loves to throw it as high as he possibly can for George Pickens to go get it. He did impress me in the first game because I really thought that he was going to come out here and flop like he did with the Denver Broncos, but he was pretty good. He settled himself in after that first quarter. Not a very good first quarter for Russell Wilson. He did settle himself back down. Had, I believe, over 250-plus passing yards against that Jets defense. He loves George Pickens the target. I think this Pittsburgh defense is very good this year. Top 3 defense for sure in the NFL. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers roll in this one at home. -6 to the play. Giants, not a competitive team, so give me Pitt -6 as the play there. Let's move on to the player props. First player prop of the day. We're going to be looking at Darius Slayton. Over 2.5 catches going up against Pitt. I do think the Steelers are going to be playing up in this game, which means the Giants are most likely going to be playing from down. And depending on how Daniel Jones plays in this game, we might see him pulled in the third or fourth quarter again. He's been pulled a couple times already this season. What I don't think is going to happen is the wide receivers being pulled, especially Darius Slayton. This is now the number 3 guy in the wide receiver room. Malik Neighbors is back, and I think Wendell's the number 2 receiver now for the Giants. So that means Darius Slayton's going to still be in this game as the number 3 wide receiver. He was a big target with Malik Neighbors out, and I do think the Pittsburgh Steelers with that defense, they're going to make things difficult for Daniel Jones. Darius Slayton, he does line up in a lot of places for this offense. He can be a deep ball guy. He can also line up in the slot, catch some underneath passes or over the middle passes. This number is just a little bit too low, I think. Over 2.5 catches, it is going to be plus money. I'm going to take a shot on it. Hopefully, we get a couple check downs to Darius Slayton in this game against Pitt. And for the final play, we're going to be looking at Naji Harris of the Pittsburgh Steelers, over 63.5 rushing yards as the play. This is another line that makes absolutely no sense to me. I think I'm going to put a little bit more money on this one than I typically do, but this guy's been a bell cow over the last couple of weeks. I've already talked about it a little bit with the Steelers. Last week, Russell Wilson was really good throwing the ball down the field. That just opened up the run game that much more. And Naji Harris, back-to-back games now, 100-plus yards. Last week against the Giants, he had 21 touches, 102 yards on the ground. He had a touchdown as well in that game. This Steelers team, they're not going to abandon the run. Even if they somehow manage to go down in this game, they're still not going to go away from the run because they operate best whenever Russell Wilson's out of play action. In order to run some play action, you got to make sure the run game's going first. So I don't think Pittsburgh's going to go away from the run, and there's really no reason for them to go away from the run because the Giants this season, they're allowing 138 rushing yards per game. That's one of the worst in the NFL. Harris has been a guy for the Steelers. He gets a ton of touches every single game. He already has 117 rushing attempts this year. He's had no less than 13 touches in any game so far this season. The Steelers, they're a balanced team. I'm going to take them to ride the hot hand here. Naji Harris, over 63.5 rushing yards as the final play. Let's go to the recap graphic. We're going to take Pitt -6 against the Giants, over 63.5 rushing yards for Naji Harris, and then Darius Slayton, over 2.5 catches against the Steelers as well. Guys, it's going to do it for the NFL Plays and Props for Monday, October 28th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure drop a like on this video and subscribe channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.